guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates. My name is Josh. Today is September 5th. Get out the brooms. Another sweep at home. What is going on? Pirates win the season series against the Dodgers as well.
Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Good morning.
Yeah, it is a good morning there, little man.
And good afternoon and evening to those of you who are listening a little bit later. Paul Skenes was dominant against the Dodgers last night. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs. Just 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. ERA is now down to 198 on this season. Just solidifying this Cy Young run. Listen, through 29 starts, he shares the strikeout and whip lead with Zach Wheeler, who's done for the season. That's 195 strikeouts and a 0.94 whip. That is ridiculous. And Zach Wheeler's the guy who's tied with him. He's going to, the whip obviously could be a little bit harder, but the strikeouts, he's going to pass him up. Logan Webb right now is second in the National League with 194 strikeouts, and he has more innings than Paul Skenes has. You continue to look at those numbers, and it's shocking. I'm not sure. He probably has 4 more starts. We're looking at a Cy Young right here, unless there's some kind of catastrophic failure down the stretch for Paul Skenes. It's ridiculous. In the post game, they put up a graphic of Skenes' last 8 starts at home. And I thought it was worth sharing the line that he has in the last 8 starts at PNC Park. He's 5-0 with a 0.36 ERA. And in 49 2/3 innings, he has 58 strikeouts and only 6 walks. That is ridiculous. These numbers that we keep talking about, Paul Skenes, they seem fake, right? We call them PlayStation numbers or Xbox numbers or whatever. But, I mean, just ridiculous numbers that this guy is putting up in year 2. In year 2 of his career. I mean, obviously, you're speechless, right? And you're talking about a guy who now has a 197 career ERA. In 52 major league starts. His whip is exactly what it is this season for his career, 0.94. And in 306 innings, he has 365 strikeouts. 21-12 if you care about the win-loss record. It's still fantastic. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. He's now increased by 40 innings. He's up to 173. I imagine down the stretch here, there's going to be something a little bit different about the way that they go about it. So, I don't know. It's unreal, man. It's unreal. I don't really know what else to say about what he's been able to accomplish in the major leagues. It's ridiculous. But the Pirates win. They sweep the Dodgers 5-3. They almost shut them out for a second straight day. Dowry Moretta hangs a curveball, 3-2 curveball to Mookie Betts, and he hits it out. And other than that, Dowry Moretta did put a couple more guys on base, but they were really not hard hits. It really wasn't that bad. He just hung 1 curveball, I think. The other 2 runs kind of come across because of being unlucky, and Holderman gives up a hit to knock one of them in. I still like what I've seen from Moretta so far this season. The ERA obviously is going to look bad after giving up 3 runs and only recording 1 out. it's gonna balloon that thing. So for relief pitchers, that's just the way that things go, right? So I still don't mind Dowry Moretta going forward. Colin Holderman, on the other hand, gets the save. He does give up an inherited runner, but he gets a strikeout and he gets out of the game with at least the save and the victory and whatever else. So a sweep of the Dodgers is never going to be taken lightly. That's how you start off September, the last month of the season. And now you go against the Brewers. I mean, this could be catastrophic with the Dodgers and Brewers back to back. These are division leaders. These are very good teams. Obviously, the Dodgers with the high payroll, the Brewers with the best record in baseball coming into the series. So, I mean, this could be a mess. And you still have the Cubs this season. You still have the Reds who are fighting for, in Cincinnati at that, who are fighting for the playoffs. But outside of that, I mean, you've got the Orioles and the Nationals after this, and the A's and the Braves at different times. So, like, you kind of have a path to say this team could finish strong, but they're going to have at least 3-4 series that are really good and 3-4 series that are favorable or at least evenly matched, you could say. I know the Reds really aren't. Well, they were in the other. I know the A's really aren't evenly matched, as they've had some pretty good stretches of the season as well. So, and the Braves, obviously, the roster is way better than the record. So you just never know. But this team can do this every once in a while. This is baseball. This is how it works. The offense in this last game put up 5 runs. They needed to, but it really wasn't anything spectacular. They were good with runners in scoring position. But if you look at the 4 hits that scored runs, it was a seeing eye single by Tommy Pham that probably scores a run, even if it's a ground out. It just kind of trickled through the infield. Not a hard hit ball. Close, but not a hard hit ball. And then a 75-mile-per-hour ground ball to left field that sneaks through in between third and short from Brian Reynolds. And then a 75-mile-per-hour double by Nick York that scores 2 more that just kind of, bloops into the outfield. It's still a legit hit. All of them are legit hits. Sure, they get through. You count them. But they certainly weren't blistering the ball or anything. The last one was Canario grounding out on a 61-mile-per-hour ground out that really only scores a run to a first baseman playing in because it wasn't hit hard enough to get the out at home. So I'm not trying to dog it necessarily. That's not the point here. You grind, you find ways. And for every hit that you get like those 4 hits, you're going to hit a 115-mile-an-hour line drive right at, 105-mile-an-hour line drive right to somebody. So it's a give and a take in this sport, and that's just the way things go. So you're not taking anything away from any of these hits. Like, that's not my goal here. But the point is like, they weren't necessarily in attack mode. They grinded out. They had a big inning that kind of, back against the wall for Blake Snell. He just continues his trend of giving up a run every inning he pitches at PNC Park. That's it. He came into it with a 9 ERA, and he'll continue to have a 9 ERA at PNC Park because the man just gives up a run per inning here. And so wait him out. He walked 3. He always walks too many guys. That's kind of his thing. He's had some fantastic Cy Young seasons. Again, I'm just calling it how it is. That's all I'm saying. The sweep was in the bag when they won the game Wednesday. You had Paul Skenes going up against Blake Snell, who gives up a run per inning at PNC Park. The sweep was in the bag. It was all up to the bullpen at this point, right? It was all up to the bullpen.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this.
Anyway, the Brewers, I said they're the best team in baseball. They've got the best record in baseball right now, the best run differential in baseball. They're coming to town for the weekend series. We've talked about how good the Pirates have been since July 21st, and they're tied with the Phillies for the second best record since that date. Well, the Brewers have the best. So we got it going for us that we're at home. The home record just continues to get better and better. But this is a really tough matchup. You take one of these, you probably walk away from this series saying, we're good. We won more than we lost on this homestand. And I think that's basically what you're looking at all in all. They haven't lost a series in a while. This could be one. Imagine the Pirates come out and take this series. I mean, that'd be fantastic. Well, let's take a look at the pitching matchups. Oviedo's been really good. He pitches tonight. He's going up against Quentin Priester, who's been kind of a story right now. I mean, I think this is what Pirates fans, at least realist Pirates fans, I think this is what we expected to see from Quentin Priester as he matured in the league. I think we all saw it. Whatever happened during that COVID year at the complex when Sherrington came in, and forgive me for saying something nice about Sherrington here, but obviously we know that pitching development has been a strength of this front office, and they worked with Quinn Priester, and they said that the strides that he made were unbelievable. Yes, he's a Huntington draft pick, but he's a Sherrington development player, and he was developed by Sherrington's front office, and obviously not by Sherrington, but by the front office and by the guys that are there who have been doing fantastic work during this tenure. We'll talk about the offense, don't worry. But this is, I think, what you could expect to see from Quinn Priester. We were all looking forward to him coming up. I think there were people that lost patience with him because he wasn't getting the results. But I think that this is along the lines of what we thought would happen with this arm. And so this is another development success from this front office. They sent him off. I think Boston was a little impatient with him as well. And I think the Pirates were just he was ready to pitch. They were trying to get some kind of value. I don't know that they got enough, but then again, he didn't really have the numbers to really do a whole lot in the first place. Either way, Oviedo, Quinn Priester should be a really good matchup tonight. The only problem is no one will watch it because it's on Crapple TV and we don't have it. So whatever. Saturday, on the other hand, we'll be back on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Mitch Keller versus Brandon Woodruff should be a good matchup too. That's another matchup that we've seen several times, I'm sure. At least we've seen each of those guys throw against these teams. So Mitch Keller, it's been bad for him, but he's coming off of a little bit of a more promising start. Hopefully he can continue that trend and do pretty well. And then we don't know who's pitching yet on Sunday, but it's against the Miz. So Mizorowski comes in. He's not been the same since the All-Star game. His ERA now at 4.50. He's kind of getting normal Major League Baseball treatment. And so we'll see if the Pirates can do anything about that, or if that's a game that gets lost. I would imagine, I'm trying to think, I would imagine we'd see another piggyback situation in that game. Not remembering what order everything was in. We have to remember that I was unplugged last weekend, pretty much all together unplugged during the Boston series. We followed along. I watched the game Friday night. We followed along with the score after we were playing, but or Sunday, Sunday. So, it is what it is. I'm just kind of forgetting where we line up, whether this would be Chandler and Majinski, or if we'd be, we just had Ashcraft and Burrows. So yeah, maybe that's where we are. Oviedo. So probably Chandler, Majinski, whatever order they go in there. So that'd be probably what we'll be seeing on Sunday. Pretty good pitching matchups, but then again, that's what the Pirates do, right? They pitch. 52 and 51 under Don Kelly at this point. So they've They've been better in the second half. But again, you talk about hitting, and maybe me and Jake will go more in depth on this, but just as like a overarching, as I finish up here, by OPS plus standards, 100 is league average. They had an 80 OPS plus as a team in the first half. It's 94 in the second half. So a big improvement in that. They're 24-19 in the second half, 39-58 in the first half. Here's the catch. Their actual team ERA, 373 in the first half and 420 in the second half, which doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. But the starters splits are 371 and 379. They've been consistent throughout. And that's including some struggles from Mitch Keller, some struggles from Andrew Heaney, and so on. Bullpen, though, was a 376 in the first half and a 467. That also can be chalked up to Andrew Heaney in his bullpen outings and some other guys, but also losing Bednar and losing Ferguson. So like there's a little bit of understanding there that the full ERA was kind of ballooned by what happened in the bullpen. The point is, a less than league average offense is able to be 5 games over 500 with this pitching staff. If they could just get this team to league average for 2026 with this pitching staff, specifically starters, then I think that we can expect to see a better team on the field. We're not talking about the full season, right? Because we're talking about getting that to somewhere around league average. At 24-19, if you're able to do that with a 94 OPS plus, if you get up to 100, you could be 26-17, right? I mean, and that's a huge deal because you stretch that out over the course of a season, and you could possibly be playing for a wild card. That's what we're looking at here.
Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day.
Friday's Hawaiian Shirt Day.
So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Go ahead. It's Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. Please consider joining me and Jake Sunday night for the live show on YouTube. Obviously, we're going to keep doing that show in the off season, but there's only 4 more in the regular season for this year. Come hang out in the live chat. It'll be a lot of fun. Sorry you can't watch the game tonight, but the radio still has it. Let's go Bucks.
Thanks for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Subscribing to your platform of choice is the best way to be notified for new episodes. And now, new episodes every weekday. Remember, live shows with my dad and Uncle Jake are Sundays at 9 p.m. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and join them in the live chat every Sunday. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2 Buctober. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming. And let's go Bucks.
Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day.